Hey guys.
Alright folks, we're here today to check out a Patreon request by this patrono right here. October Changes, and the name of the song is Sleeping Beauty, which is this guy right here. I don't know about beauty part, but definitely sleeping. By the way, speaking of, well, not really speaking of sleeping, but speaking of the time that you spend on the toilet, your mother found this thing. It's like a keyboard that you play with your feet for people who spend too much time sitting on the toilet. So while you're sitting there, you can play some tunes with your feet.
Oh, it's that mat.
Yeah, it's like a mat, like it's a keyboard. Yeah, so we're thinking of getting you that. Maybe you can start playing some Flesh God Apocalypse while you're there. You never know. At least there's going to be a Flesh God Apocalypse at the end of it.
Oh my god.
That's for sure.
That's the band. That's the band. We've been thinking about a name for our shit metal band, and it's going to be Flesh God Apocalypse.
There you go.
Oh my god.
Well, you know, I'm a man of ideas. Anyhow, October Changes, Sleeping Beauty. Ready for this?
Instead of Mona Lisa, it's Mona Ria.
Yeah, we change the names of their songs to, like, other shit. Literally. Other shit. All right, let's check this out. So far, so good.
Coldness kisses my shoulders. The room is dark. My eyes open wide. Feels like I've had a long winter sleep. Am I so long time left behind? It has been 1,000 years since I walked these empty stairs. The dust on the
All right. What do you think?
Oh, I was gonna ask you first.
I liked it, but I felt like it was missing something. And I'm having a really hard time putting my finger on what it was missing.
Oh, I don't know. Like,
I felt, okay, maybe, I think for as much as I like the vocals on this track, they felt a little bit too thin and a little bit too light. And I don't mean by that I would like any harsh vocals
no,
on the
but
track.
the song it feels very light in its own, and maybe it's a lack of bass player. Maybe I don't know. Like,
Well, it's not like the track doesn't have bass.
I know
but-
it has bass, but I'm talking about bass in general. The song doesn't have much. Like yes, I hear the bass. I'm not gonna lie. I hear the bass. I don't see a bass player, but I hear the bass.
that's irrelevant.
But I hear the bass.
As they are.
I hear the bass, but even though there's bass, there's like kind of not bass. Like it doesn't really. The song doesn't feel like it has an umph to it. There's no.
No, it lacks some, that's for sure.
It lacks the umph.
But I don't feel necessarily sound wise. I didn't feel like it lacked as much as it did vocally, and I think the way you can fix that with the vocals is to have some layers to the vocals.
Yeah, definitely having layers would help. But I also
And I don't mean like really predominant layers where you can hear like
no,
her voice 10 times. That's not what I'm talking about. Like some thin like nuanced layers to her voice, in specifically in the verses
or
of the
layers
song.
that are down an octave, like her singing at a different.
Bringing like
Maybe at a not a deep, but like at a more monotone level, something that's gonna give you a little bit of it's layered, but it's giving you something different, something like
depth,
that.
because it creates
exactly.
depth. Because right now, I felt like it was really narrow. It was really narrow. Like it didn't have umph. It didn't have volume. It didn't have presence. And sound wise, I didn't mind it. I thought the song sound wise actually it worked really well for me. I just felt like her vocals being so clean, so angelic, so bright and light. They were overly light. And because they were overly light, it's almost like they were.
Well, it lightened up the rest of the track too.
Yeah, but they were
Like-
kind of like evaporating from the song.
Yeah, because
And I wanted them to be a little bit connected deeper with the track, and maybe the layers would have helped, because the song is good. And her voice is really good.
Her voice is really good, and the song is good. I agree with you there. Vocally, there's stuff that could be done, but I disagree with the musical side. I do think
The drums could have had a little bit more umph.
Yeah, and I think, in my opinion, turn up the bass just a little bit, because I hear it, but it's like
No, but if the drums had a little bit more umph,
maybe it would have made up for the bass.
Yeah.
But like I'm hearing,
It's like the drums had no bass in it.
yes, yeah, it was almost like the drums had like no bass in them, which.
Which I understand. I mean, I understand it to a certain degree, because if you start adding too much bass on the track sound wise, then her voice is going to sound very separated from the track.
Yes,
So
yes.
I understand that you're trying to level things off in a way
I'm
that
just trying
everything
to find-
balances out. But I think you can do that by increasing the bass sound of the drums, and then
If anything,
have some layers on her
I'm
voice.
trying to infuse volume into the music side.
A
to
song
help.
like this cannot be narrow. A song like with a vocalist like this, the song needs to be big.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to infuse volume into the music side, so it allows the vocals, even though as light as they are, it allows it to not feel like it's pushing back on the rest of the track.
Because that part in the song where she goes a little bit higher with her voice, it doesn't have the same impact, because the song, everything
It's the
sounds
same.
very, very narrow.
Yeah.
So
It
for
needs
you
to- it needs
to have
to-
that impact, you have to
needs to
build it up
bring
to
it
where,
up.
and to bring it up with it, you have to have that foundation that allows it to come up.
Add
Without
volume.
that, when she does that, it's kind of it's lost in the
It
song.
loses
The momentum, the power.
No, yeah, it loses the power that it's supposed to have.
Yeah, which is breaking through the ceiling. There's no breaking through the ceiling if there's no ceiling to begin with. It just felt very constricted to me. The whole time I'm listening to the song, I'm like, fuck, good band, good sound, great vocalist. I really like the vibe.
They have all the right.
They have all the right pieces. I just think from a production standpoint, they could have done a few things to like increase the drums presence,
Just
maybe
add
put some layers
umph
on her
and
voice.
volume, basically. That's all it is add umph and volume. You're adding the umph and volume to the musical side by upping the drums a little bit, making the song feel full. Because I feel like musically it wasn't really full. I feel like there was white spaces there.
It almost felt like at times that was almost like a stripped down track.
Yes, and so That's why I was disagreeing.
Felt like an
with you
acoustic
on-
track, even
That's
though
why
it's
I was
not an acoustic
disagreeing with
track.
you on that because I'm like musically, it's not fully good. They're
No,
definitely
but all the right
white-
pieces are there.
There's
like
all the right
the-
pieces,
the-
but there's
the-
white spaces and
It's a good band.
filled.
Like they're a good band.
Yeah, they are a good band. I'm saying there's white spaces that need to be filled with more volume and it's the drums that definitely need to be brought up a bit. And I think if you do that, vocally you wouldn't have to change much. But if you wanted to, the layering would be nice. Doing it as layering with different,
Either you layer in the verses or you layer in the chorus. Not both. I don't think you need to do both. You need to create ebbs and flows.
Yeah.
And if you layer both, then it's just like one big line across everything. So
maybe-
either one or the other. Maybe the chorus would be
the
better.
chorus. The chorus
Because you
would-
want the chorus to have a little bit more
But then
oomph,
do the
to be a little
chorus.
bit-
You would do the chorus as the voice she's using now, and then have like a more monotone version of it, where you're having at least that.
Yeah. Once again, it creates depth. Which, to be honest with you, that's the issue with the song, is the volume and the depth. Very narrow. Very narrow. But that doesn't mean it's not a good band, and that doesn't mean they don't have the right tools. I just think that a song like this could have been like even better.
There's nothing wrong musically. Well, there's nothing wrong musically. Technically, it's just all. It's all.
And also, I think it comes down to the listener in terms of what do you want.
True.
For me as a listener, when I listen to a track like this, I want something a little bit bigger.
I want something that feels really big.
Feels the size of the house that they were in.
Yeah. I think with this song, when it comes to actually like musically, the way they're playing, everything, it all sounds good, but it's more of a production thing.
Because I give you an example of another band similar in style to these guys that does that part really well, and that's Seven Spires.
Yes.
Like
yes.
when they come across with the clean vocals like on a track like this, the track doesn't feel as narrow because they have more oomph in the drums, they have more oomph in the bass, which makes the song musically feel a little bit bigger. And then obviously she comes in sometimes with some harsh vocals, with some layers on the vocals, so that changes on that part as well. But even in the more melodic pieces, you just need
But they
to
do have songs with there's no
harsh vocals at all. Yeah.
But they still feel very big. But that's because the instruments are doing.
But the instruments
their
are creating the size.
Yeah.
Are creating the size. But that's one band that came to mind when I was listening to them.
Well,
Because there's some
when the song
similarities.
started, definitely.
There's some similarities in the sound and the vocal approach. All right, October Changes. It was a good discovery, though. I'm not hating.
I'm not hating.
No, I'm not hating. Even though some people may say that what we just said was hating, but it wasn't.
It's not hating. It's constructive criticism.
Yeah, it's just opinions.
Just opinions.
Exactly. And they're worth what they're worth. All right, guys. On that note, hit us up in the comment section and let us know your opinions, and we'll see you all at the next video.
See ya.